JLR products have only got like a fifth of the range. And yet we went to that auction last week, and I mean, every other third car was a JLR product. It was weird. Morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My apologies, I'm a bit clogged up today. I seem to have found a dose of the flu of man. Today's video was supposed to be, was going to be a follow-on for the Range Rover video. That's what I wanted it to be. Unfortunately, the policies at Mannheim auctions now have changed, so filming is no longer prohibited there. So I thought what we're going to do is we're actually going to drive to a different auction just down the A12, which is a little bit further away. Unfortunately, it isn't going to be a very good comparison because the overall network at Mannheim auctions, they sort of stock 10,000 cars nationally. They're a big establishment. So we're going to go to Aston Barclay Chelmsford. They're a bit of a smaller business. They sort of stock more of between 2,000 to 3,000 cars nationally. They've got a few different sites nationally. So I did go to the sale yesterday and I had a look around, and I'll tell you what, I did a bit of filming on the way home. So I'll just quickly cut this in now. This was from yesterday on the way home, just a little bit of a chat. So I came back today to do a follow-up video of that video. I personally would have found it quite interesting too. Mainly looked at, yes, I wanted to see at the Range Rover numbers that were in auction that time. I wanted to see if there was the similar amount in today compared to last week, which there was. I wanted to go back in there and see what was going on. I did go back in there and have a look, and the weirdest thing was the biddings actually recovered a little bit. Some of the Evokes that were going through, some of the late Discos, some of the Disco Sports, they were selling, which is even weirder. I'm more confused about that. There was a couple of Disco 4s that were going through today. Now, Disco 4s, even Disco 3s and Disco 4s, Land Rover Discovery 3 and 4s, they're quite good news in life in general, really. As far as I'm concerned, they're not, because the reliability issues is just something that I can't handle. But to people that want that sort of car, Disco 4s do sell very well at auction. And there was a couple in today, and they did do all right, which, again, potentially doesn't make that much sense because they're still keyless, them ones. So arguably they've got the same theft problem. But maybe Disco 4s and that aren't as desirable, and they don't get as stolen as much as what sort of Evokes and Range Rover SVRs and stuff like that are. So it is a hard one, really, to know what's going on. I've literally got a friend, car dealer, who I was just speaking to, who sold a Range Rover SVR yesterday. And, arguably, whoever bought that SVR is going to have the same insurance problems, but they still bought the car. So they're still selling, which is good news, because I bought an Evoque, didn't I? I've got 2 Evokes now, including Claire's. But I'm sorry that I couldn't show you that. That Mannheim establishment there, I personally think is easily one of the best auctions in the country. The facilities, the location, for me, it's only half an hour away. The place is run like a Swiss watch. It really is. It is a well-oiled machine. So unfortunately, instead of this being another auction video, it's a boring video of me driving home in my part exchange Mondeo saying why you're not getting an auction video. So I'm really sorry about that. And then now we'll just go to Aston Barclay Chelmsford. We'll have a little look around. We'll see if there's any sort of comparable numbers there of JLR products, and we'll see what else is about. Let's just do it that. Oh, nearly tripped over. Well, here we are, people. Aston Barclay Chelmsford. It's a big old place. And all the cars sitting here. I'll tell you what, I'll quickly go and get booked in. Then we'll come back out. Right, guys, so I'll tell you what. Yes, there's a couple of Range Rovers around here. A couple of Evokes. But this is what a fairly normal auction looks like. I know this is only a week after that one where we were at Mannheim, I know that. But if you look around here, this has got a normal range of, I suppose, what can only sort of be described as run-of-the-mill cars, I suppose. This is actually quite a good comparison, really, because I had a lot of people comment on that video, that Range Rover video, that there are a lot of Beamers, there are a lot of this, there are a lot of that, and if you put a filter on for BMWs and Mercs, and there'd be the same sort of numbers compared to any Land Rover product. But let's be honest here, obviously, the range that BMW and Merc have got, I mean, JLR products have only got like a fifth of the range. And yet we went to that auction last week, and I mean, every other third car was a JLR product. It was weird. It was clear to me instantly. I've been going to car auctions for 10 years, every week. Instantly, when I got there, it looked odd. There was too many of them around. But I mean, this is a week later. We're at Aston Barclay, and there's only the odd one. Yeah, that's probably a certain point because Aston Barclay have got different vendors to what Mannheim have. That's fair enough. Do you know what? I want to just cut away there because I didn't really realise until I got home and I started thinking about it how lucky I was to be at that auction to see all of them Range Rovers there, pretty much. Because we went to Aston Barclay yesterday, and it was a car supermarket heavy auction, as you saw. You know, there was just a wide range of run-of-the-mill cars. People that own Range Rovers and BMs, X5s, Audi Q7s, that sort of stuff, they usually roll in them sort of circles of cars. So they go to a dealership in an Audi Q7 to look at a Range Rover. They go in a Range Rover to a dealership to look at another Range Rover, or to look at something lumpy, like what we call it in the trade, you know. So I was quite lucky to have ended up going to that auction, which had some lumpy vendors there. Because otherwise, say we didn't ever go to Mannheim on that Tuesday, I never would have even noticed anything Range Rover. Because if we went to Aston Barclay the next day, which you saw we just did, there was hardly any of them there because it was like car supermarket heavy. Most people don't go and trade in a Ford Mondeo to buy a Range Rover Evoque or a Range Rover Velar or something like that. So we were quite lucky to see that, which is good. Let's go back. But this is what Mannheim normally looked like, and it was just different last week. So I'll tell you what, Aston Barclay have got a couple of nice vendors, so I'm going to have a quick look around whilst we're here. Go and see if we can find anything exciting. You know what, to be fair, I mean, red cars are quite hard to sell, but I love a red car. Oh, it's an auto. I wonder if that's petrol. How many miles has that done? Oh, I weren't supposed to buy anything. Oh, it's done 41,000 miles. That's a 2-litre turbo petrol TFSI Quattro. It's a DSG. Oh no, that's a nice car. We might have to watch this, people. Oh, do you know what? That's a lovely little car as well. Another red one. What's going on today? That's done really low mileage as well. Cool black wheels, cool black stripes, black roof. Oh, I might get a bit excited about that one as well. Oh, look at that. That's nice. 205C63 coupe. Oh, look at that. V8 twin turbo. That is... Oh, listen to that. That's like a work of art, isn't it? AMG. Oh, one day, Kev. Yeah, right. Little 4.4 auto. Cool. People will be loving that in London at the moment, won't they? Oh, John Cooper Works. Love that as well. Oh, I'm loving red cars today. Comes with some coffee cups, that one. Cool interior too. Nice. Man, look at the time. I might have to go. Well, we were somewhat unsuccessful today. Didn't buy that little red Mini. Made strong money, real strong money. There's plenty of money still being thrown around. I've got to head back now. I've run out of time. just made this little one for you guys and girls, trying to do a sort of follow-up really, but went a bit wrong, didn't it? Let's get in the car. Well, we're back in the car, people. We're on the way home, and it was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it, to that video? I mean, it was, you know, I didn't want the sort of comparison video to be like that, but luckily we went yesterday. We got a bit of info for you, so I've just sort of said what happened yesterday with the numbers. But I mean, just going to that auction there, that is what a normal car auction looks like. There is a normal range of cars, normal cars, high-end cars, just a normal range, you know, 1, 2, 3 of each, not like 40 odd. So I mean, I don't know where it's going to go for sort of Land Rover, Range Rover from here. I don't really know what JLR are going to do. I hope they can sort it out, because I think the reality of them things, when they're running all right and they're not in a workshop broken, you can't get away from the fact that they break a lot. They do, but when they're running all right, they are nice cars. I mean, you've seen, if you haven't seen the video of Claire's one, you know, Claire's Evoque's done 140,000+ miles. It's a nice car. It drives really well. She loves that car. She don't care how many miles it's done. And while it's not braking, that is a really nice car to drive. So I hope JLR can get it sorted out. I hope they sort out. I know they've got all this ghost software and stuff going on now, but I mean, for nobodies like me, it seems like it would make a lot more sense just to not make them keyless. You know, get an infrared key, stick it back in a slot in the dash, anything. I know it's more work for the clientele that potentially might not want to do it, but I mean, if you had the choice between being able to insure a Range Rover and having to put a key in a slot, or not being able to insure it because it's keyless and it's going to get nicked, you'd go for the key, wouldn't you? So I don't know. All I'll say is thanks for watching this one, everyone. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your subs. It was a bit of a different one, obviously, because I didn't mean to do it, but I don't know. It was interesting reading all your comments. Really interesting reading some of them. So thanks for the support, everyone. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like what's going on, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.